All right, so we're back after a long hiatus, and that's partly my fault. I was dealing with a bunch of shit, so fuck off. So yeah, what's on the letter today, Austin? What's on the logs?
Well, did you know that Mitch McConnell is a victim of Asian American discrimination?
No, I I just found that out today, and I feel very bad
He
for
just announced he announced it to America, Chris.
yeah.
It's an emergency. Mitch McConnell is now the face of of Asian American discrimination victimhood. He's cashing in his ticket.
I mean,
We'll
it's
see what
just
old white man is next.
I mean, it's all ludicrous. All everyone on this side, like, I mean, obviously not the Asian community, the Pacific Islander community that's being targeted. I'm talking about the people that are stoking the flames right now to go to war with China. Because I mean, this is literally what kind of happened with Iraq and Afghanistan, where literally we grouped all one social group into like one conglomerate being, and we kind of laid all the blame on them for all of society's woes. And Asian people are next. Unfortunately, that's kind of this sick game where no one can accept personal responsibility. No one can see the trees in the woods type of bullshit. So yeah, because I think people have really are really gonna do it. I think we're really gonna fucking try to go to war with China, even though I think this is just the result of a really fucking stupid empire that's collapsing and just wants to go off a bang.
Yeah, it is. I do think China's a surprisingly universally um useful boogeyman scapegoat kind of thing in American politics where like it's I mean again like I'm surprised at how much
Effectively,
Democrats are anti-China basically.
oh yeah, I mean,
Um
I was surprised too. I thought like there would be like some that would play it, and then they would continue doing the Russian card. But I mean, they still are doing the Russian card. I mean,
yeah.
eventually, like even the right will have to be like, if we want to take down China, we'll also have to take down Russia. So eventually, the right will have to. I mean, I'm not saying RussiaGate is real or that the right actually conspired with Russia. I'm just saying that some of them, kind of do like Putin, but eventually, in the end, they're
Yeah.
gonna have to choose a side, and they're gonna be like, nope, Putin needs to go too.
Yeah, well, I think for the pro-Russia right in America, that's like a smaller hardcore Trump base, like
And they're
minority.
willing to, throw them under the bus if they can
Yeah.
get to their objective, which is China.
Yeah, like Mitch McConnell's and the establishment, the Republican establishment is definitely not um Russia friendly. They're Russia hawks, I would say.
Yeah, they're Russian
Like in the same
hawks.
way they are with Iran or
And like I
China or
said,
something.
most people in the end will probably be like, yeah, no, if we had to throw Russia in the bus to get to China, cool, let's all do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just
I think it's
because
a
okay,
meme
so
that most people were anti-war. I think we're starting to learn that that was a meme.
yeah, absolutely. The whole anti absolutely complete meme.
Everyone was memeing.
Complete
From
meme.
Tucker Carlson to AOC, they were all memeing.
And it's hilarious because Trump I would say is a relatively anti-war president, at least for modern times, even though
Yeah.
he's seen as like aggressive and crude and I don't know, like liable to send out an angry tweet and start a war.
I
Like
mean,
he
he
was
only went to
relatively.
Mr. Worth it wrong. I mean, we only
Oh no,
escaped
he
that
did.
because it wrong.
No, he did. I truly I agree with that 100%. But I'm just talking about like looking at his track record for the past
Oh
four
yeah, no, no,
years.
no. I'm not
I
saying
would
Trump is.
I would say he's on
is
the lower end of the scale in terms
oh,
of
definitely. I mean, he didn't kill a million people in Iraq. I mean, I'm never gonna. It wasn't a fucking mistake, you fucking toads. I'm like, it wasn't a mistake. You don't kill a million people and be like, oops, my bad.
well there's a lot of buttons to press, Chris. There's a lot of buttons. You don't really know what they do.
Yeah,
There's a
there's a
lot going
lot
on
of
as a
buttons that
president.
we need to press, and it needs to be like mass hangings of all these war criminals.
But yeah, then you have Biden, who's it's not exactly clear if he knows what's really going on.
Oh yeah, it's 50-50 because the guy is an insane war hawk. He's been known for wanting to go to war with like every fucking country on the planet. So we don't know if this is actually what he wants or this is what other shadowy beings in the background are asking him to do. I mean, it could be
Yeah,
both.
no, okay, so I agree with that. I see Biden like I would see a drunk person in the sense that Biden is still Biden.
Yeah,
Um, but his cognitive decline. makes him like just in some ways a shell of who he used to be. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
like he slurs his words or he just gets slipped up in like a sentence or something.
Mhm.
Like I'm not sure if he really knows like the intricacies of pretty much anything
Yeah, no.
that's going on, but he
Saw,
does
I mean,
still
you
have
saw
those
the
like
fucking
primal
stairs
tendencies.
thing. That was worse than Trump. Trump didn't
that,
fall
that
on
was
his
pretty
ass
fucking
when that
funny.
happened. And you know what's even more egregious? Apparently, Snopes said that that was false, mostly false.
What was mostly Trump's thing?
No, no, no. Biden falling down the slide of stairs.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
Those fact checkers, it's getting like ridiculous. It's getting
yeah.
ridiculous. How far they go to defend anything Biden. They'll
I'm
call
like,
it mostly false that like Biden is I don't know, setting the record for kids at the border um this many months into his administration or something. Like they'll find any loophole they can to
are
get
they
around
like
just
what
nailing
is
him.
the game? Is it like I'm like, do they do realize that they're basically like this ridiculous farce that they call it democracy? They do realize that. I mean, they actually believe in it. They believe in it. They subscribe to it. They think like that they think the world of it. Are they really that delusional and thinking that they can continue this fucking game forever? I'm like, it's like they like the trust in all these institutions have already been eroded by the vast majority of Americans.
Yeah, the only people who take those fact checkers seriously are like, I don't know, CNN, uh, uh, Democrat fanboys, like who aren't even like not even the Bernie wing. I think buys into most fact checkers. It's like the only like the most like establishment I don't know, college graduate white collar professionals
Basically, people have no value to society. Basically, the people that Pol Pot was right about doing, and that we should have not, we should have honored him as a hero.
yeah, just like the upper middle class petite bourgeoisie of a Democrat Party who's I don't know a slim but key consistent constituency for Democrats. But
I mean,
it's like
unfortunately,
the
they have a
fact
lot of
checkers.
capital, so we're fortunately at the mercy of these psycho, like of these psychotic sociopaths.
Yeah,
I mean, the
no,
same way we're at the mercy of like the small business class that have a lot of power as well, and they believe
mhm.
in that small cabal of Jews secretly rule the world or whatever, and we also have to deal with their bullshit. Or the evangelical pastors with a shit ton of money to basically spend so Israel can kill Palestinians with impunity, without impunity.
But one thing I do appreciate about those two latter groups you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
they don't claim to they don't claim to be experts. They do not use the expert label. They just
Oh
say
yeah, I mean, of
because
course
I
not. I
said
mean,
so,
they use the
which I
fucking Bible.
appreciate.
One group uses the Bible, and the other one uses that what they heard on Facebook, which is kind of not so bad in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'll
The
appreciate
one that
anyone
said that
who
they heard on Facebook, not the one that said on the Bible. Those assholes can go to hell, and they will.
if you just make shit up as you go and you openly admit it, I can respect that to a certain degree. But
Yeah,
the
I do too.
expert thing, the experts who are clearly making it up as they go, like Fauci, or pretty much much of the expert medical class throughout this entire pandemic, who's just flip flopped or I don't know. So the CDC is saying that now it's 3 feet social distance, and then the two mask things is like if you feel like it or something. They're not even hard on the two mask things, and the AstraZeneca thing, and it's I don't know, the data may or may not be corrupted or something. I'm like, what the hell? Can you just get your shit straight and and just I don't know, just set a damn policy. I understand that like it's a fluid situation
Yeah.
and we're learning new things as we go. I get all that. Um
Mm-hmm.
but you're really telling me you can't just release the results of a study about I don't know, the AstraZeneca vaccine. Like, how is it that the results of the study that's already finished are somehow still
I mean, they
changing?
won't even give us the results of saying that how did Russia interfere with the 2020 election? They
Yeah,
don't give us
yeah,
anything. They tell us like expect to believe them at face value.
yeah, exactly. And then if they change the outcome of the Mueller investigation the next day or something, you just you just buy it and then keep moving forward and just keep listening. I don't know.
I mean, only
It's kind of
idiots in the game
insane.
do that. I want fucking proof. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, if my fucking asshole professors force me to be like yes, you need to cite your sources. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking expect to do the same with the assholes that are trying to get us into a war with Russia, or the same assholes that are
Yeah.
trying to force like millions of vaccines that could potentially be blood clotting and kill people.
Yeah, no, freshman English comp courses require more proof than America's foreign wars.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. I'm like, and you wonder why this country is starting to fall to shit.
But it looks like we're getting ready for another one. Yeah, no, that was a really good point. I didn't think about how much the tide has changed for both parties. I think for being a little bit more war. I wouldn't say like war hungry, but just war
War
willing
readiness.
to accept a war, willing to
Yeah,
accept a war. Yeah,
yeah.
not as
I
because
thought
by
that
the
we
end,
weren't though. I thought we were at the point where like we're going to the point where like we're just gonna do like drones and stuff like that. But no, it
yeah,
seems like but I think we talked about this a couple of months ago that we need to take our aggression two ways. It's either gonna be war with China or a civil war.
yeah,
And I think the
yeah,
elites are like,
and I
oh yeah, no, we can't do that civil war. War with China it is. That doesn't matter if this could end the human race. We can't risk the civil war. I mean, and that's great because that just shows how selfish America is.
yeah, I think I think I was getting
Because
ahead of myself.
the more honorable path would have been a civil war.
Yeah, no, but part of I was about to say for the Civil War thing, I think I was getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no, go.
because by showing, I think the likelihood of a civil war is just less than I originally thought. As as evinced by the relatively universal acceptance of the lockdown
Yeah,
of the
I think
pandemic
you have a
lockdown.
point.
I didn't think it was going to be as easily accepted. And it's funny because like some Democrats will still say like red states did a ton of irresponsible shit, blah
Hello?
blah blah. But even in like red states, even in Texas, like people wear goddamn masks. People don't the clubs aren't open indoors or something. Like life was significantly changed in the reddest of red districts.
Right, right.
Like everyone changed their life because of the lockdown, the pandemic. So even the most I don't know, Trumpian Rube um
Yeah,
still has a
yeah.
mask on when they go to Costco or whatever,
Right.
when they go
So
to
I think,
Walmart. Like
I think
so yeah,
the
no,
thing that
that
I
does
was,
make me a little bit less.
right. No, you do have a point. But I think I was trying to bank
Well,
more on the fact is like we're gonna have to eventually have some way to take out all this aggression either amongst each other or another group of people, and we can't like do something like, oh, we're gonna go bomb I don't know, Sudan or some shit like that. We're gonna have a war with Sudan. That's not sufficient enough.
yeah, yeah. So I don't think America's ready yet to go at it with each other. So we're gonna need to go somewhere else. We're gonna need to find somewhere else to make our punching bag.
Yeah, but I mean, I I think that this might be the most stupidest like decision that America could ever do. And we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe someone will save us, and or maybe not, and maybe we'll all die in the nuclear holocaust. Hope you're ready to like die or whatever. I mean, because uh, I mean, we're not going to be able to have like do like the drone strikes that we did in Iraq or Afghanistan. I mean, we're going to have to actually put foot soldiers and do a land war in Asia. I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Let's say we don't go full into because okay, so if the U.S. wanted to full on go to war with China, that would be an enormous war. That'd be World War III. It'd
Yeah,
be huge. Let's say we're not ready for that. What's a smaller scale I guess proxy war kind of thing that would be more feasible in the near term? Like I'm thinking something with Iran related, but at the same time, I think Biden is trying maybe surreptitiously, maybe he's faking it, but I do think he's trying to be a little bit more open to negotiating with Iran,
right.
at least in the beginning. I could see it escalating. Not I'm
I
not
mean, no,
putting
escalating. I mean, already the Ayatollah is saying that Biden can shove it up his ass. Like America has to be the first one.
which I love. Which
Yeah,
shout out to Ayatollah. That shit's hilarious.
yeah, yeah. No, but everyone is doing that. Everyone is telling Biden to go eat shit because he's being a little
Yeah.
asshole. Like he's trying to think that he's an alpha, and everyone else is telling him, "Go eat my shit, asshole. Eat my shit. Go fuck yourself, you
Yeah.
fucking dying mummy."
It's it's kind of hilarious. Like Trump was actually treated with more respect by pretty much any given foreign power than Biden is at this point in his administration.
Well, it's also because Biden is an arrogant piece of shit, even on the same scale as Trump. But the thing is, like, America is clearly in decline. Everyone can see it, especially how we handled COVID. And because I mean, before the whole COVID thing, America looked like, yeah, we're still at top, even though we're slowly dying. But now it's like it's clearly all like the emperor's clothes, like it's the emperor's clothes type of shit, like where everyone can see that we're naked.
Yeah.
And no one's buying
I
our
also
bluster anymore.
well, I also think it's okay, so you know how the president has relatively more power than in any other aspect of government.
Yeah.
In foreign policy. Foreign policy is kind of like the presidential's the most free reign there. I think that these hostile or foreign competitors, whatever, just sense more weakness and opportunity to exploit Biden, at least initially, than they do with Trump. Like the guy's not all there, so take advantage of that immediately.
I mean, you got to blame the Democratic Party. I mean, these people are like, this is going to be the shepherd of American empire, and you're literally going to pick, the crypt keeper to fucking take over, the keys to the empire after, a blubbering child just fucking left it and shattered. I'm like, you people are fucking insane.
Okay, so I agree with that. That's true, but I will say, how about this? What better option do the Democrats have? It was either let Trump win or Biden. To me, I really didn't see anyone else who could have. Because okay, let's say Kamala was a nominee and Biden was the vice president or some shit. I'm sure Trump would have won.
Kamala would not have won against Trump, even with COVID.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So it's like what better option do the Democrats have?
Capitulate yourselves and die with your fucking sword and let Bernie be the candidate. They should have fucking done that. They should have just fell on their sword. Bernie would at least let the empire die peacefully. With Biden, it's literally like everyone is taking, a piece of, our clothing and like Cinderella's stepsisters, like, that's mine. Give it back to me.
They should have ran Cuomo. Cuomo would have never got Me Too'd if he was president.
Oh, I mean, even if he's being Me Too'd right now, he's gonna escape all the charges, including killing all of the old people, all the corruption, the intimidation, the perjury, the licentious stuff. He's gonna get away with it, and he's probably gonna be our president in 2028.
Can we please have a moment of silence for the Me Too movement?
Yeah,
it was good. It had its run on Trump and Kavanaugh and Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Kevin Spacey, whoever else, you name it. But at this point, Me Too movement, it's officially dead.
Not because of Biden. The Democratic Party let it die because of Biden. They let a bunch of shit die for him. I mean, it's ridiculous how desperate to cling to power the Democratic Party is, which is hilarious because I remember like when was I last time in community college? I think it was in 2015. This was a couple of months before Trump, or before Trump, was really in the running to win. I mean, he was doing all this funny shit, the debates, and no one really saw him as a serious contender. I did, but different story. But I remember one of my professors said, a very smart man. I respect him a lot. He did say that he thinks that the Republican Party is gonna go, die out and stuff like that. Like it's on its way out. I'm like, nope, bitches. It's actually the Democratic Party. They're basically the Whigs 2.0.
Well, okay, I think your professor was right in the sense that the old Republican Party is pretty much going to die out because Trump did tweak it, and it's not like a completely new. It's not revolutionized, but it is updated. I would just call it an update.
Yeah,
Trump
it's
just
more.
Yeah. I would just say a modernized.
It's more accessible. It's more accessible to the rubes, to the
exactly.
psychos, to the conspiracy theorists that believe that chemtrails, or the people that believe that the chemicals are making the frogs gay, which they probably are, but who cares?
Yeah, no, exactly. I would
now
I would agree pre-Trump
project
like that,
and they love it. But most people that are in the Democratic Party, they know they're not a part of this project. They know that they are literally just, well, not all of them. I mean, a lot of them, they still have a lot of fucking idiot rubes or people that have been like, so demoralized and so scared because of the big orange boogeyman that they have been, kind of been tricked themselves into believing that they have to vote for Biden or they have to vote for little Hitler, even though Biden is just probably as racist as Trump. So it's a moot point. It's like, yeah, I mean, at this point, most people know that the Democratic Party is, it has no one's interest at heart except for the PNC, elite liberal class.
It's gonna be hilarious when Biden fails to pass any kind of immigration legislation, and
All right,
we're in
no,
we're
that's
in
not
the
fair.
and we're in the exact same boat as we started in after Trump in terms of immigration, except he just is going to end up deporting a shitload more people, and we're going to be talking about
Told
how.
you this was going to happen. This guy
No, you're
literally,
right.
like, yeah,
You're
he
right.
was right because he's allowed to get away with it. The media is basically like, does like, just like, oh, okay, we can't report. That's fine. Let's move on.
Yeah, no,
But a lot of
they're
people are
going.
not letting them get away with it. Like a lot of like non-traditional media is not letting the news media get away with it and try to make the story die out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've noticed that. I think I'm pretty interested to see how this goes in the next couple years, just about the entire term. Biden's immigration policies and just how it plays out, because I think it could develop into a much bigger issue between progressive wing and I don't know, moderate conservative wing of the Democrat
Yeah, the
Party.
progressive wing are
Um,
little bitches. I mean, they let the 15-hour minimum wage go because they're unwilling to point out who the reason is why the $15 minimum wage, the Medicare
shout out
for all.
Mansion, shout out
Yeah,
Mansion.
no, but Menchie could have been brought to capitulate if several Democratic, like of the House of Representatives or one Democratic senator basically be like, I'm not voting for this unless I get my $15 an hour and Medicare for all. If they would have done that, the Democratic Party would have been done because people would have never forgiven them for that. But they're
Never
pussies.
is a strong word. Never is a
What's that?
strong word. I think they get away with a lot.
With who?
Never. I think
I
they could
know. I
spin it.
think that
They
they
could
would
find a way
because
to spin it.
no, you cannot because the checks you needed to do it because people in their minds were like, "Where's my check? Where's my check? Where's my check?" Because at the end of the day, people
Okay,
care more
true.
about their material security than they give a shit about Bad Orange Man.
True. But I
I'm
will
sorry,
say
liberals, but money is the reason why black people are so fucking fucked up, and not because of some inert thing in white people or black people that make them, do this kind of weird similar dance where they fucking have to, commit genocide on each other.
wouldn't didn't Trump flip this idea? Wouldn't Biden have a path to sending out checks through executive order?
Yeah, he could have, but he's not going to do it because Biden was literally pressed by his party to do it.
So just in the event that the stimulus
We're
bill.
not getting more checks, by the way. This
Oh
is
yeah,
it.
no,
This
I'm not
is
expecting it. I think this
Yeah,
is
no,
it.
this is
I
it.
think this is
They
it.
can lie to you. They can, gaslight you as much as they want. Yahoo News and a bunch of other organizations, but the Democrats are not giving another one because the DNC do not have it in it to keep pressing Joe for another one because they're not going to let Joe will not let that happen.
Yeah, I bet Joe and I bet a surprising amount of supposedly progressives would be pretty much on the fence about it. Wouldn't be pushing too hard for it. I bet it would actually be a pretty controversial move amongst the Democrat Party to even try.
Yeah,
Um,
because you can't give up the fucking the you can't give up the trick, the illusion that that we can't keep giving money to people and like actually keeping prosperity continuous. I mean, you can, but we can't do that. You can't give up that bag yet, because if you
yeah,
do,
the
then basically,
carrot on the stick.
yeah, carrot on the stick. No, you just need the stick. That's all.
Actually, one thing I've been surprisingly I haven't heard about much is AOC lately. Has AOC been doing much? I feel like AOC's lost some clout since
I
Trump
mean,
and since the
she's
storming
not
of the
running her
Capitol
mouth saying that
where she wasn't there.
we need to organize and stuff like that and ask for, cancel all student debt. But I'm like, why? I'm like, you people are not going to fight for us, even if we go out in the streets and demand it. I mean, look what happened with the Black Lives Matter protests. You guys didn't do shit. So it means nothing. Shut the fuck up. We've done that. It means nothing. I mean, these progressives are a bunch of swindlers and hustlers and and con artists, just like Trump. Except Trump is as bad when he does it.
Well, I'm okay. I'm glad that you brought that up because this makes me think about this. I had a lefty friend telling me he's
Lefty in
smelling.
air quotes.
Oh no. This guy. this guy's legit lefty, not like he doesn't even vote. Like he despises Democrat Party lefty.
Good.
But but he says he's smelling psyop by all this Asian American um discrimination stuff. He's thinking it's being used to like cover up or push for something. Do you think there's any
No,
aspect
I
of
think I think it's
the,
legit because it's literally
oh no
the
no well
scenario.
not that it's not happening, but just that the way it's being portrayed and the goals and the political solutions being offered to remedy it, I
Oh
should
yeah,
say.
no, the political solutions
Yeah.
are definitely, a trick, but I don't think it's actually a psyop. I think this is legitimately happening because we are getting ready beating the drum wars to war with China. We are preparing for that. I'm like, I am the only thing that I'm shocked is how ready everyone was for that. I was blindsided and completely off the mark thinking that most people in America were done with war. I am legitimately disgusted by most Americans and the fact that they're all, gun ho and ready for this next war. I'm like, you
Well, it's the
people
China
deserve to
virus.
die in this
The
cold.
China virus. Trump single-handedly sent us to war by tweeting China virus.
I mean, if that's true, then this country deserves to die. I mean, this is one completely fucking stupid society that deserves massive death. Massive death.
No, but
Really,
I was gonna say,
one
and
orange, one. Well, yeah, go for it.
well, this is a whole new can of worms. So, what do you think about the focus being shifted to Asian American discrimination? Do you think that that has anything to do with trying to take away some clout and attention from Black Lives Matter?
I don't think so. I think. I mean, I know where you're trying to get to, Austin, and it does seem suspicious, but I think this is mostly because we are starting to be there. I mean, because it seems really quick and it seems like it's really progressive to the point where but I think we're
Yeah,
really moving on to the point where we are getting like ready to start a conflict with Asia because the US cannot handle the loss of their hegemony. This is really the point where like most Americans are not going to accept the fact that American exceptionalism, us being the greatest empire on earth, was a complete lie. People do not. I mean, people say that they're ready to accept that, but I think that that's bullshit.
well, it would also kind of take away the entire point of being American because
Yes,
part
it
of
would.
like, yeah,
Continue.
because you know how like forget the material circumstances
Yeah.
you're promised you live in. Like you think about the Grand Theft Auto stories, or at least Grand Theft Auto 4, Nico Bellic, and
Yes.
he's
Yes.
gonna go
Same.
to America, and Roman is his cousin is balling, and I don't know, he's all these girlfriends, and he lives in a mansion and blah 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 over in America, etc.
Yeah, Roman.
If America, even besides all that being BS, if America isn't number one in the national imaginary anymore, um it just takes away, like if your life sucks, you're
Mhm.
broke, and you
Yeah.
can't even be proud of your country anymore. Like what the hell do you have going for you? Like
Yeah.
you
I,
might as
I
well just
don't.
kill yourself.
I don't know how people are going to reckon with that, and I think people are going to reckon with that in very disturbing ways. Like we I think we're probably going to get more mass shootings. To be honest.
Yeah, no, that's I could see it. I could see, because it really takes away
Because
any
you
hope or
literally live in a
valor
shithole and the
in your
magic is
life.
gone. Yeah, but think. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
it just it takes the fun out of the game. Even
Yeah,
if the game still sucks, like at least you have like this idea that you're somehow winning in some way.
yeah.
But if you're just losing on all fronts,
Might as well just go out the bang.
yeah, like that dude in
Yeah.
Boulder. Now we have Syrian incels, Chris. We have Islamic incels. We have incels of
Jesus
of all stripes.
Christ. I'm just like, but yeah, it's a growing concern where people were fed a certain promise and no one is going to get that promise anymore, except for a very select few, and it's going to keep getting fewer and fewer.
Yeah,
People are not going to
yeah,
accept this meritocracy crap for too long.
yeah. Well, and then in the meantime, the incel population is only going to grow until it becomes
Uh,
a full on voting block, and we're going to
yeah,
start
the
having
beta
incel
uprising that
candidates.
Vortex said, the beta uprising, where they kill all normies.
We're gonna start having incel mayors, incel senators and stuff.
And the
They're gonna
only
be
solution to this is straight gay conversion therapy camps, where we take all the incels and we forcibly make them gay. That's the only solution. That's
Well,
I believe
at that
because most
point,
incels would probably be able to have better chances if they were gay.
it's 100% true. But at that point, the U.S. is definitely going to civil war because how are
Oh
you
yeah,
going
by
how are you
that
going
point
to
we're done.
balance how are you going to balance evangelicals and then incel gay conversion camps in one country? There's just too much going on.
Yeah,
There's too
there's
much
not
going
enough
on for
land
one
for both
country.
conversion camps.
But
We're gonna have a civil war to have which conversion camps can be in what territories. That's gonna be the real
but
civil war.
but seriously, in
Yeah,
the near future, at least, I'm actually I'm really interested to see the growing diversity of just incels, period.
yeah. Oh my
So like
god, we're
I'm
really gonna have incel like dialogue in college. Like there's probably gonna be a class to understanding incels. Like I want to cut myself.
because I'm just thinking about it. Like I can't wait for like a Latino incel, black incels. I don't know, Jewish incel. Like there's really gonna be a because you know how
They
incels
already
at
exist.
least
I mean, you go to
right now.
4chan, you can meet them.
Okay. Well, no, there definitely is, but I should say in the national imaginary, like the term incel barely is even a term in and of itself. But
Yeah,
for those who understand it,
yeah,
incel is code word for an angry white male virgin, basically,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Essentially, yeah. Go
Racist
for
white
it.
male
Sure.
virgin.
Yeah.
Um, but there's no doubt it's only a matter of time before some kind of, I don't know, small scale terrorist attack, basically incel attack
Yeah.
by an incel of color.
No, but I mean, it already happened. But I think a lot of it will later be blamed solely on white supremacy, which is partly on it because a lot of people of color that are incels, a lot of them are they do believe like
True,
in a racial hierarchy. But
true.
obviously the real reason is because people have become so atomized and so deconnected from everybody else. Like, and it's
Yeah,
not just incels, it's everyone. And
yeah,
as COVID has only ramped this up, like we're now basically completely isolated from one another.
yeah. Ironically, incels who are basically a right wing, a far right, like I don't know, political demographic or whatever, are
Yeah,
pretty much a product, or at least largely in part a product of social media and like Silicon Valley. I would
yeah,
say Silicon Valley, which is
yeah. I would be too.
neoliberal um leftists, at least like socially liberal, and then like neoliberal economically, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, they're pretty much creating this these radical subgroups by the sense of alienation that they feel from society, which is
And they
it's
only
not really
make
their
it worse
fault.
because of all the technology they're giving them. I mean,
Yeah.
Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin like millionaires and billionaires are incels.
Yeah.
So I
That's,
can't wait till
are you are you
they
ready?
start
Are you ready
funding
for
this.
billionaires? I'm ready for billionaire insults personally. I'm kind of looking
I'm
forward to
ready for the billionaire incel Jeff George Soros that starts funding these fuckers to start start doing massive shootings.
buying tanks for like a commune in Kansas or something.
Yeah,
Get a
with
bunch of
five
tanks and
Bitcoin.
rocket launchers and shit.
Yeah, with 5 Bitcoin. Pennies for
All
these
through
people.
Bitcoin. All through
Yeah.
Bitcoin. That's well shit. I'm looking for that's one thing. I'm not a big crypto guy myself, but
Yeah.
if crypto can lead to that, then then shit, maybe I do need to start investing because
No, the government will probably
this
start
is
cracking
fucking
down on
lit.
that. So I mean, it's probably gonna be like where they like they you get good points and you have Bitcoin, you have no good points. I mean,
Yeah,
because people
actually,
see China and they see all this authoritarianism and they're like, oh, that could never happen here. I'm like, you fucker, we literally have the White House fenced in. That's fucking worse than China.
yeah, yeah. It's I think lately there has been updates to the security level in the White House and just in DC in general. Like I think they're starting to take on some fences, right, and send home some troops. But I definitely thought it was really weird for how long it lasted and how
No, it's
for the
still
most
there,
part no one
and
was
they
really
seem
talking
like,
about it.
and they keep saying that it's going to be in there indefinitely, but they said it's not going to be there permanently. But indefinitely obviously means permanently.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, yeah, and it's just weird how yeah, again, no one for the
No
most
one,
part people weren't really complaining about it,
yeah,
which is
people are
pretty
okay with
fucking
it.
weird.
We're all okay with all this, erosion of our rights. It's amazing.
Yep. Well, it's for safety. It's for safety. COVID has showed that if you tell someone it's for safety, they'll pretty much buy it on a
Yeah, they
national
will.
scale.
Yeah, they will definitely.
And Chris, did you know Krispy Kreme is going to save America? Krispy Kreme
Oh, the
is
vaccine
offering,
thing. Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, you get a
But
donut
is
if you
that
get a
like
vaccine.
did like are they just gonna be like, oh yeah, you can only get one donut like a week or whatever?
Oh, well, that would be the most American thing ever. What's more American than jipping people on coupons? But no,
Oh my
I
god.
really do think that's got to be one of the best incentives for getting America vaccinated. I would not be surprised 1% if I don't know
No,
if
I
it's
wouldn't be
somehow
surprised either.
proven that Krispy Kreme made a dent
Yeah, 1 to
in
5%
increasing
will do it because of that.
vaccinations.
Yeah. Well, sorry,
Because
Krispy Kreme. I hate donuts, so you're not gonna be able to get me.
you're not American, Chris. How can you say that? That's got
That's
to
a
be one of the most
couple,
offensive
motherfucker.
things I've ever heard.
I'm glad. I
Well,
mean, fuck being American. Being American is probably one of the most like most repulsive, disgusting things you can be. It's like literally
okay, no,
pig slop.
no, North Korea can nuke America. I wouldn't blink an eye. But as long as you leave me one Krispy Kreme box, we're good. Just leave me one. That's all I ask for, Kim.
So yeah, no, but
Pretty much the
Biden has
pinnacle of
just
American civilization.
yeah, Biden is literally letting the empire die, and it's amazing. I did not see this coming. I'm fucking shocked, but also pleasantly surprised. Like I am. It's a surprise, but a welcome one for sure.
Yeah, no, same here. I really think the only selling point or just strong point of Biden's administration so far is the vaccination rates, like at least compared to Europe and just well, pretty much compared to anywhere on the planet. America's doing pretty well currently on like their vaccination rates. I would say besides Israel. Um
Yeah,
and that's kind of like his calling card right now. Like he's like, oh, the vaccines are gonna save everything, the economy, blah blah blah. Um,
wait, give me a minute, Austin.
but that's really not, I don't know. There's really not much to be proud of. Like if you're a strong Biden supporter, I don't know what else you have to say because the border shit is a complete disaster. And to call it anything but a disaster is delusional. Um, I I don't even know what the hell is going to be the solution going forward. But I think even Mayorkas, I don't even know what that guy's name is. Like his best strategy was to just try to blame it on Trump. He didn't really offer much of a solution when he's talking about it. Like I don't know what the path forward is there. Um,
I mean, there really is none. So uh, I mean, these countries in Central America and South America, and in some in the Caribbeans. I mean, they keep getting worse, and it doesn't help that the United States keeps doing fucking shit. Like we keep negging, saying that we're gonna keep interfering in, Nicaragua. We might do something about, if I mean, we will do something if Lula gets back into power. I mean, we'd rather have Bolsonaro than Lula, and who's to say that we won't interfere again in Bolivia, in Ecuador? I mean, I mean, it's just people just realize that your government is responsible for why all these people are coming to this country, and there's only one solution, and it involves guillotines, and this is to the right as well. There's only one solution, and it's all of them. They all must face the national razor of the French.
so you have immigration, you have the economy is getting better, I guess, but
That's what
I
you
mean
think.
I
So
think that was
we'll
kind of
see about that. That's going to be one of my predictions, that Biden is going to literally destroy the economy. So we can get a super majority of the Republicans, and then in 2024, Trump comes back into power, and then he finally does a plebiscite and becomes, the God Emperor for life that he was supposed to be.
well, I don't even necessarily disagree with that. I just mean like right now. So and also for the economy to get better, that's not even saying that like Biden is doing anything. It's just that it was in like such a shit position with the
But the thing
lockdowns
is,
with
like, it
COVID,
won't get better
whatever.
because we still have to pay people's rent money, and there was just a rent moratorium, meaning we didn't actually absolve people of their debts from the rent. They still have to pay those up, and those will be due. And millions upon millions of people owe money, and they'll never escape that type of debt. So that's a new type of debt that we're getting into. That's not even student loan debt, and we're not even talking about the countless of jobs that have been permanently removed from you know from from the job market. And then we're also talking about the fact that people, once the unemployment checks run out, which they will, and Biden will not extend them, then people are basically going to be on their asses. So I think we haven't seen the day of reckoning yet. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen in the ending of the COVID lockdowns will fix everything, but I don't see it. I honestly don't believe it.
All right, yeah, I'm a little bit more optimistic than you,
No,
but
you can be
I do
optimistic. I
think
mean,
that
it's very possible we could turn this around. I mean, but I think like the way everyone is handling everything, I think that our national leaders have basically screwed the pooch, because these people have literally regressed and they think that they're in a fantasy world where laissez faire, like economics will solve everything.
yeah, well, it sure as hell
I
didn't
mean,
work out with
even
Texas's
Jerome Powell is not fucking pumping the markets anymore, and probably
yeah.
orders from Biden.
Yeah, what the hell, Powell? Hook it up, man. Come on, what's going on?
It's because of the fucking old relic. Just Democrats, just please do the 25th Amendment. I know you guys wanted to do it for Trump, but I know you guys are planning to do that for Biden. Just do it sooner than later, so we can get Kamala and she can make the markets get pumped.
Oh yeah, so when Pelosi and Hillary have Biden assassinated, you're thinking it's gonna be cancer? What's gonna be their method of assassination?
I
How are
think
they
it's
gonna
just
get
going to
rid
be
of
the
it,
25th
man?
Amendment. I mean, they're probably going to do the 25th Amendment. If not, he dies of COVID. No, he can't. Obviously, he got vaccinated. So,
Yeah, that'd be a terrible look. That'd be a terrible look.
yeah, no one would trust the vaccines if Biden died of COVID.
Yeah, no.
That would
Vaccinations rates
immediately,
would plummet overnight.
yeah. Imagine if it does. I mean, that just means that this God is an evil one and wants us to suffer.
You thought COVID was done? Try this, bitch.
But I think maybe cancer would be a good one, but like I said, I think it's just going to be the 25th Amendment. I think they're just going to say that Biden is unfit to rule. He was a good leader, but he had, some kind of degenerative brain tumor or whatever, and they just
Well,
slowly remove
okay.
him and he disappears.
The reason I'm not thinking it's gonna be 25th is because that would basically be admitting that Biden was an invalid this entire time, and I think that'd be way too costly for them. So I think like yeah, like a cancer kind of
I could
thing.
see that. I could see that. I could see that. You could be right.
Because you're basically saying, yeah, this guy was a retard, and you just voted for him.
No, but maybe you wait a year and then say like, oh, it's and make the news press like pump out the story saying, oh, unfortunately Biden is at the hospital, and slowly saying that it was a degenerative brain tumor that really started like in. I mean, come on, these people, you can't trust them for shit. They're fucking lizard people that enjoy the adrenochrome of children.
No, I agree that in morality wise, they wouldn't be past that. I'm just talking from a purely tactical perspective, in trying to maintain legitimacy amongst their base, amongst their
I mean,
voters.
their base is full of fucking idiots.
I should say at least the independents, that
Independents are
10%
also
slice of
morons.
independents who pretty
Independents are
much
also
decide
morons.
elections
They
in this
literally
country.
voted for this dying mummy. I mean, I know Trump screwed the pooch, but they're an unimaginative, idiotic bunch because they thought that Biden might have done something better. No, he wouldn't. He would have literally been
No,
just as bad as Trump.
yeah, no, I'm not extolling independence, but I'm just saying that I would say, what is it, like 5 to 10% of this country are pretty much decide the elections, the swing voters pretty much.
You could be right. Let's just say that you have a point, and there's a very possibility that they won't do the 25th Amendment, and who knows? Maybe Trump Biden
But
will
I'd love
serve
to
out
see
the
it.
full term.
I'd love to see it though.
Yeah, I know, I would too. But I mean, I think that's probably the best case scenario that they might pull out of their asses. But if not, like I said, it could just be that eventually we'll Biden might even see the entire end of his administration and then die like a couple months later.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's got to be the most likely outcome.
Yeah, the most stupidest
I
outcomes
think I
always
think it'd
look
be
like.
completely ludicrous for Democrats to try to run Biden again, though. Let's say he does finish in a relatively
What's gonna be
on
funny though
relatively
is
good
that
terms.
he's still cognitive and he's still cognitive. Be like, no, I'm running again. I don't care.
Oh, he pulls a Cuomo. He pulls a Cuomo and doesn't back down.
Yeah, exactly. I would
Oh,
love to
that
see
that
it.
would be amazing.
So
That would be
hilarious.
amazing. And at that point he'd be unhinged. He'd be completely
Yeah,
like Breaking Bad Biden. So at the
yeah.
next Trump Biden debate, he'd be going full on
Maybe he'll even use
full on
slurs. Oh,
he'd
come
be
on.
calling
We
Trump
all know he's
names and
probably
then just
used slurs
forgetting.
in the past. He probably
Yeah.
dropped N bombs like crazy.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And he's talking about
The guy was fucking friends with Strong Thurman. He must have used the N word like if it was like, secondhand to him.
and he was supposed to be cool with Southerners, right? He's supposed to be
Yeah.
like the Southern. I don't really understand that though, because I thought he's from Pennsylvania, right? He's like
Oh,
Scranton
whatever. He
Joe
also
or
claims to be
whatever.
Irish, so he's all full of shit. He's all over the map.
So
He's more
what the
full of
hell
shit
is
than
he?
Hillary, but it's because of sexism that we basically think Hillary is crooked and Biden isn't.
I
Yes,
think
I'm actually
Hillary's
gonna play
a
the
step
woman
more
card
crooked.
here.
I'm not gonna lie.
What's up?
I think Hillary's 1 degree more crooked. One degree.
I mean,
Just
but at
one
least
degree. I'm
we
not saying
don't
it's
give
huge.
Hillary we don't give Hillary any benefit of the doubt. We do. Some people do with Biden.
I think it's just because Hillary's not a good people person. Like purely, I'm not even talking about her track record or anything,
No.
but
I
just
think you're
like when she
totally
steps
correct.
on the stage and like
Yeah,
talks into a mic, it's
yeah.
just
No, I totally
you just
believe
feel
that.
weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like Bill's more entertaining and
yeah, that's true.
I don't know, just fun to watch, I
I could
guess.
see, yeah.
And
But
that's just
yeah,
that's just like a natural. I don't know. That's hard to teach. Like how do you show someone how to be personable? I don't know. That's just that kind of goes into the mystique of any given powerful head of state. It's like that natural ability to just finesse people. Be a
yeah,
good con man.
just be charismatic. Being charismatic. It's all about that. Hillary's not charismatic.
Yeah, yeah. And I have no doubt that she's smart. Whatever she's technically qualified based on
Yeah,
what it means to be qualified in
whatever
this
that.
country and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
whatever that means.
Yep.
But so yeah, I mean,
she's she's
we're gonna
sucked enough
continue.
adrenochrome out of children.
Yeah, she has. But like I said, it's just what are we gonna do with Biden? I mean, the empire is collapsing. Everyone can see it. The economy is the only thing that might save us, and if it doesn't, then it's game over. I mean, like I said, I remember I saw something on Vox or some shit like that, and they said that the American Empire might become like Rome, and I remember some dipshit loser Canadian illustrator who was an armchair historian saying, "Yeah, well, people have been saying that for like 50 years now about every president since then." I'm like, yeah, I think there might be a point for that, dumbass, because America has been in a steep decline since the 70s. So I think there might be a fucking point to that. Rome didn't collapse in
I
one
also thought
day,
the
you
Rome
fucking
thing.
moron.
Yeah, yeah. I thought the Rome thing was much weaker in
Yeah,
past decades. Like I thought it's been a growing and growing comparison.
yeah.
Um, and then also with now that
But has
China's
America gotten better since the 70s?
oh no, I agree completely. I
I'm
agree
not saying you're
completely.
wrong, Austin. I'm just saying about that one fucking moron.
Oh no, he's dumb.
This is why we shouldn't
Yeah,
allow
America already
Canadians to
peaked.
ever learn. We should immediately ban all their schools and just turn them into like the Stepford Society of like the Handmaid's Tale for fun, for American entertainment. Canadians don't deserve rights.
I endorse that. But yeah, no, and any notion that America hasn't yet peaked is completely delusional.
Yeah.
Um, but I will
That's why
say
Make America
also,
Great was so powerful.
yeah, yeah, that was kind of like an obvious confession that America is getting shittier.
Yeah.
um,
But it
but
was so
no,
powerful
just
because someone admitted it, because everyone saw it and no one wanted to admit it.
yeah, yeah,
But continue what we were going to say earlier. Sorry, I'm sorry about you, about the
yeah. With
yeah.
well, I think China essentially being a superpower at this point, just is like the cherry on top with the potential for America to officially like be a lesser version of itself in the past. Because
Yeah.
I think you can deny that with some degree of credibility to the 90s, to 2000s, to 2010s. But at this point, China, I mean, okay, so like literally with China's
I
opening,
mean, China was nothing in the 70s.
yeah, but you know about the diplomatic meeting that was just just
Oh
held in
yeah, let's talk about
Alaska.
that. That was
Like
hilarious. Let's talk
that
about
was,
that.
yeah, it was hilarious because America, the American diplomats, whoever the hell they are, I forget their names. But
Don't care
Biden's
about their names. They're
diplomats,
enemies. They're our enemies, and we should never know their names. Never ever know the names of your enemies. Make fun of them as well.
bunch of overeducated idiots. They they have like 90 seconds agreed upon or something like that to deliver their statements, and America, being the cucks they are, abides by that 90-second debate rule and is relatively polite in addressing their Chinese diplomatic counterparts, right? Then the Chinese diplomats come up, they talk for like 20 minutes and they just shit on Biden in America the
That's
entire
great
time.
though because no
It
no
was
no but
beautiful, yeah.
remember they started it. The United States basically like is like I under the philosophy of talk shit, get hit.
Yeah, yeah. No, exactly. So it was just I don't know. I think it's an appropriate.
Response. I think it was a response by China. I think the United States was really stupid thinking, yeah, we're gonna, show China a lesson in civility and teaching them about human rights and all this other stuff. I'm like, shut the fuck up. The US has no leg to stand on human rights. We have the largest prison population in the world. We fucking dwarf China when it comes to that. What human
But
rights? We literally
no,
killed 1 million people in Iraq.
and I think it's always been a meme. I think everyone knows it's always been a meme. But the difference is that now,
No, conservatives don't. I
America's
mean, apparently conservatives are now LARPing again that we do believe in human rights. I told you about
oh
that
no
one
no
Skynet network in the Australian conservatives. They're literally thinking that China is full of shit and the United States is a beacon of human rights.
okay, no, you're right about that. I was gonna say in American diplomacy, like
Yeah.
in past years and past decades, etc. When America talks this shit, I think most every country knows it's stupid bullshit, and I mean it's just an excuse for America to impose Western friendly political and economic systems on their country, pretty much,
Yeah.
right? But I think that now China's flexing a little bit, like they're like, we don't need to hear your bullshit, like
Yeah.
we're not
And
that
it's
weak
not
anymore, like
just them.
we can
It's everyone else
credibly,
that's doing it too now. No, but sorry, continue. Continue.
yeah, we can credibly respond and retaliate to that stupidity,
Yeah.
whereas
It was great.
like you can't talk down to us anymore, basically you just can't talk down to us anymore.
Yeah.
And Biden sure as hell is not the one who's ready to effectively respond to that. He's
I
probably the
mean,
worst candidate in this
they give
country.
their cuck bullshit saying, "Oh, and they try to ignore all the fucking valid complaints that China has against the U.S. I mean, I'm not saying China is free. I mean, obviously you have Hong Kong, Tibet, Taiwan, and the Uyghurs, but the U.S. is
Bow
obviously
down,
no
Taiwan.
position. That's it.
Bow down, Taiwan.
Yeah, about time. Yeah, it's happening, Taiwan. You're next. We're not going to defend you.
But yeah, no, just that China even has the balls to respond like that. It just shows you that they're growing self-confidence, plain and simple.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. But it's not just them. Every other country is also flexing on them as well. Russia is obviously doing with Putin saying, "How about you debate me, asshole, live one-on-one?
Yeah,
Let's see how
which
fucking
was
well you can do it."
hilarious.
Yeah.
That was
Putin is
fucking
like,
hilarious.
"You're not Trump. You're not gonna fucking like put one on me, you old dying mummy." And there, Aragon and then everyone else is basically telling Biden to eat them, eat their ass. Amlo
Yeah.
is too. He's like, "Fuck you, asshole. Try me." It's great. I love seeing the president get humiliated. Fuck
He's
him
being
and fuck
bullied.
every
They're
step.
pretty much bullying him, Chris.
Yeah, and
They're
it's
bullying
great.
him.
I love it. I honestly love it.
They're shoving him into the locker. They're
Yeah,
giving
they
him a
are.
swirly. The
It's
world is giving him a
great.
swirly right now.
Yeah, the world is giving him a swirly, and what's even better is he can't fight back. And this is what he wanted. This is what he spent 40 of his years of his life. He sacrificed his first wife and his son, his disgusting, demonic, pedophiletic son that spared the DuPont heir pedophile from going to jail. So he is literally getting his just desserts from Satan.
Yeah, it's funny because throughout the Trump administration, mainstream medias would just like roast or I don't know, just comment on Trump's presidency and be like, wow, like this is what he really fought for. Like he looks like he's so sad, right? Like Melania doesn't even love Trump. Like this is a failure. I feel even worse for Biden. Like I really don't think I don't know what's there to enjoy for him, other than potential historic legacy.
It's because this
At
was
this
his
point so
dream,
far.
is his drive for 40 years. So literally,
Uh-huh.
this is the only thing that's still left in his brain.
Because yeah, at least for Obama, it was much more glamorous. To me, it seemed much more glamorous, like
Yeah,
immediately
yeah,
much more
for sure,
rewarding,
for sure.
much more fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, for Biden, it just
I
seems
think
like
I think Obama
it's just
genuinely
crisis
enjoyed being
after
president.
crisis.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and it's like what's in it for Biden? I don't know what he's. I mean, I'm sure he's profiting off it in some way, shape, or form. Hunter Biden, whatever.
but
But
money
besides
has
all
never
that,
been a thing for him because
yeah,
literally he was one of the poorest senators in the country, and his family basically was the one that was mooching all of his name and legacy and his
hmm
power. I mean, so Biden doesn't care about money. For him, it was
yeah.
always about attaining the ultimate power, which is to be the president. But hilariously enough, he only gets that when he's already dying and his brain has turned to mush.
God is sick. God.
God is good. Allah is great. Allah Akbar.
But yeah, no, the first couple months of Biden administration, it's been entertaining. It's been surprisingly entertaining. I really did not expect
It
this much
has,
turbulence.
but not in the ways we thought it would be.
Yeah, because you know how Biden was sold as the moderate, the smooth sailing candidate
Yeah, the
in
calm,
comparison to
like
to
we're
Trump's.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we are
Yeah,
dying a calm death, but at least we're enjoying it while we're dying in this. We're slowly getting euthanized.
but even like we had this like shooting yesterday, and I have no idea if that shooting would have happened anyway under Trump. I'm not trying to imply that or anything. But I just think it's like the Biden administration has been surprisingly turbulent off the rip. Like the border more or less crisis. Yeah, just the shootings, vaccinations, whatever. That's been going fine, I think. But
I think it's because
um,
we're the what's the word, the band-aid that we thought was
it's
the
Trump,
we
right?
thought, yeah, the band-aid that we thought was Trump wasn't actually that, like it's something else.
Yeah, it's just this country, period.
Yeah. And people are
And
starting to recognize that and realize, like, oh no, it wasn't Trump. It was just that this country is fundamentally, demonic and sick, and it's dying.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's, I mean, we've covered that 100 times. Like the difference from Trump and Biden really isn't that big. Like it's going to be interesting to see if going into the next election how Democrats are going to try to sell Biden or whoever the Democratic candidate is. I don't know, Cuomo, Cuomo
No, Cuomo's
2024,
not running.
whatever.
Well, maybe he could, because Americans have a really low attention span at this point. Where we forget one week that we were pissed about Mr. Potato Head being, non-gender binary. We
no,
literally
no one
forgot
gives a
that we
shit.
had a fucking Discord on that. You really think people
And
are gonna give a shit about Cuomo and all the shit that he did in a year from
yeah,
now?
exactly. Exactly. And I'm sure his brother's gonna be pumping him up in due time on CNN.
Oh yeah,
You know
he'll
how
do it. He'll
like
do he'll do a year later of a documentary saying a profile in courage, my brother.
and how many lives he saved in the retirement
Yeah,
homes.
exactly. He's like, I like, people may give you this, but like, and then they'll have like obviously like executives like or CEOs from those retirement homes and saying,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a tough time, but Cuomo was there, when we needed him the most, and he saved millions of old people, senior citizens.
But yeah, this
Disgusting
just
pig
it just
people, disgusting
it
pig
just
people in this country, all of them.
it just goes to show you no matter who's steering the ship, it's really not much of a difference.
Yeah, and now we're having Prince Harry becoming part of the Silicon Valley boys.
Oh my fucking god.
It's like every pig in this fucking planet is suckling on the last teat of this fucking demonic country that was stolen by fucking Native Americans. That was stolen from Native Americans.
I just thank God that Henry and Megan haven't tried running for any kind of local office yet, because I
No,
would not be surprised at all, because they can't become president, but they can become like
no,
governor or something,
Megan
right?
can't. Isn't she a U.S. citizen?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Oh my,
God,
if we get fucking president, I'm leaving.
I'm
I'm
storming the White House.
I'm
I'm
just
storming the
leaving.
White
If
House
if
if
we
that
get
happens.
president, Megan, it's over.
Yeah, no, let's storm the White House if that happens.
Yeah, I'm absolutely gonna be arrested.
I'm going to
No
storm the White House.
question.
I don't care. I'm not letting this fucking, this cloud chaser fucking become president.
Oh my lord. Fucking Okay, shout out Piers Morgan. Also, yeah, just closing thoughts. Shout out Piers Morgan. That he really lost his job for calling a spade with this whole
Yeah,
Meghan Merkel debacle.
but
And
but
he
Meghan
didn't give a
Markle
fuck. He did it proudly.
because yeah, but I mean, obviously the British royal are like filled with like pedophiles, Prince Andrew and all these other lizards that eat the brains of children. But I mean, Meghan is a fucking clout chaser, and Piers Morgan was right on that. Even though Piers Morgan is a demonstrably disgusting pig man and should be fucking be taken to the slaughterhouse. He was right on Meghan Merkel, and he shouldn't have lost a job for that. He should have lost it for multiple other reasons, but not for insulting this fucking clout chaser.
Oh yeah, no, I feel the same way about him as I do about Trump. Like he's a slimy piece of shit too, but it's just enjoying seeing him roast other slimy pieces of shit because at least someone's doing it.
I mean, but he doesn't
Otherwise,
always
everyone's just
do
holding
it.
hands.
He does a lot of more innocent people than Trump, to be honest. I mean, people like to say that Trump does it to only innocent people, but I think Trump mostly does it to other slimes.
Yep, yep,
But Pierce
exactly.
does it to more
And
innocent people. So that's what he's like, and he does it more like in a more like grotesque type of way, like not in a like a funny like that. Haha, it's like I'm messing with you type, like you're a fucking idiot type of way. But I digress.
but just any attacking Harry and Meghan from any angle, I'll endorse. I don't care who's throwing the rocks. I'm
As
behind
long
it.
as it's not racial, I mean, but I think most of the
As long
attacks were
okay,
not
fine.
racial.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's
as long
bullshit.
as it's not racial, yeah. No, okay, I agree with that.
I think like 95% of the attacks were not racial, but the liberal media is
Yeah.
obviously saying like the opposite, which is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also it
There's a
is
lot
just
of
kind of
markings,
funny
by the
to
way.
see.
I totally believe like all members of the royal family should meet the same fate that Charles the First met.
Hmm. Yeah, this isn't an endorsement of the Royals either.
Yeah, no,
They're
we're
just
not.
as
We
bad.
don't.
But
Yeah,
this
we're
is
there.
just calling a cloud chaser to her face.
Exactly. We're not going to tolerate that shit.
Someone's got to take out the trash.
Yeah, someone has. I mean, we had to drain out the swamp, people. I mean, Trump didn't do enough.
And Boris Johnson sure as hell isn't doing it.
Oh yeah, no, that fucking weak cuck. All he wants to do is basically destroy the NHS, and that's about it. That's all he cares about.
The only reason he's even in power is just because his hairdo is remotely similar to Trump, so he just rode that wave.
Yeah, exactly. What a fucking cloud chaser to him. All right, well, is there anything else you want to talk about, Austin?
No, I think that should do it. I think for this goes to anyone who really thought that Biden was gonna free the kids at the border and
Oh god.
and bring about
The
passive
grand the New
citizenship
Deal, the second New Deal.
and the second New Deal. You guys all got played. If it's
And
not
you all
glaringly
deserve it.
obvious now,
You're fucking rude simps and morons, even more stupid than the most hillbillyish, like most inbred Trump supporter ever.
yeah, and specifically I'm thinking of college Democrats who are like ostensibly pretty radical, who are
Oh, I
campaigning for
voted for
Biden and
Biden
stuff.
because I can't accept fascism. Shut the fuck up. He's just gonna get us one step closer to it anyway.
You all
Fuck
got
off.
played, and any day longer that you spend pretending that you're not getting played, you're just coping and you're completely delusional, and it's not going to get better. Um,
Yeah, no,
I
this
don't know what
country's
else to
fucked.
tell you.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to vote your way out of this fucking system. It's going to continue progressively keep getting worse until we get President Meghan Merkel. Well, I don't give a fuck her name is. And then after that, we're probably going to get Mike Lindell's body being resurrected in the body of Marjorie Taylor, and there'll be a new being, and and under the Constitution they'll be allowed to be able to run again.
But there'll be pillows for everyone.
Yeah,
Pillows for every God worshipping American.
yeah, so you can forget about all the genocides that are probably happening under the new Mike Lindell Mergery, robot hybrid thing.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that, motherfuckers. All right, so let me see.